Today we will be reading Skippy John Jones by Judy Schneider. Every morning, Skippy John Jones woke up with the birds. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Mrs. Doohiggy's bird bath." The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," she said. The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat, not a bird, not a mouse or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, not a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat. And stay out of your closet," she added, closing the bedroom door. But once he was alone, Skippy John Jones began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones, and I bounce on my bed, and once or 6 times I land on my head." On his way down to earth from my gigantic big bounce, Skippy John Jones shot past his bedroom mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Skippy John Jones. "What was that?" So up he went again, and again it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he said, "My ears are too big for my head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese cat, I am a Chihuahua." Back on land, Skippy John Jones climbed into his toy box and rifled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and his sword and climbed onto his mouse, Skippy John Jones began to sing in a muy soft voice. "My name is Skippito Fresquito. I fear not a single bandito. My manners are mellow, I'm sweet like the jello. I get the job done, yes indeedo." Back in the kitchen, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jilly Boo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. "Can Skippy John come out of his room now?" asked Jujubee. "No," answered Mama Junebug Jones. "Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking." In fact, Skippy John wasn't thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. With a walk into his closet, his thoughts took him down a lonesome desert road far, far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a mysterioso band of Chihuahuas appeared out of the dust. "Ay, caramba! Who goes there?" asked Skippy John Jones. "We go by the name of Los Chimichongos," growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Who are you?" "I am El Skipito, the great sword fighter," said Skippy John Jones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. "Why the mosquito, dude?" asked Poquito Tito. "I go incognito," said Skipito. "Do you like rice and beans?" asked Pintolito. "See, I love mice and beans," said Skipito. "He might be the dog of our dreams," whispered Rosalita. "Perhaps," said Tia Mia, "if he knows the secret password." Leaning toward Don Diego, El Skipito half sneezed, half spoke the secret password into the Chihuahua's very large ear. Achoo! Pichu! "Bless you," said Don Diego. "Gracias," said Skipito. "Then it is true," decreed Don Diego. "Yip, yippee, yippito. It's the end of our fretobuzito. Skipito is here, we have nothing to fear. Adios to the bad bumbled bito." Then all the chimichongos went crazy loco. First, they had a fiesta. Ay, 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 ay. Then they took a siesta. But after waking up, the chimichongos got down to serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great bumblebito for Skippito to see. A hush grew over the chimichongo so great that one could hear a whisker drop. Alfredo Busito, whispered the crowd. El blimpo bumbobito bandito. See, said Poquito Tito, the bandito steals our frijoles. Not your beans, cried Skippito, outraged. See, Poquito continued, red beans, black beans, Boston, baked and blue. Cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto, and jelly too. Now he comes for us, Poquito added. ¿Por qué? asked Skippito. Because we are full of beans too. Then Don Diego stood tall, and in his most somber voice declared, Yo quiero frijoles. Huh? asked Skippito. The dude just wants his beans back, said Poquito Tito. And you are the dog for the job. Me? asked Skippito. Then all the chimichongos turned toward Skippito, the great sword fighter. But poor Skippito had no time for a plan, because in the blink of an eye a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The chimichongos scattered in all directions. Vamos, Skippito, or it is you the bandito will eat all, they cried. Skippito stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like the jello, and his teeth chattered like the castanets. Then in a muy soft voice he said, My name is Skippito Fresquito. I fear not a single bandito. But Alfredo Busito flew straight for Skippito until the bean-eating bandito hovered only inches away from the great sword fighter's face. Hole, frijoles! cried Skippito as he thrust his sword into the air. Suddenly, pop, went the bandito, landing on Skippito's sword, and quicker than one could say chihuahuas, cheese, and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfredo Busito, the bumblebeetle bandito. Then all the doggies burst into song. Yip, yippee, yippito. Our hero is El Skippito. He's the dog of our dreams who delivered the beans. And now we can make our burritos. But back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from Skippy John's room that Mama Junebug Jones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced down the hall to the kitty boy's room. Bangito! Crashito! Popito! Skippito! Just in time to see Skippy John's closet exploding. Then out flew Candy, beanbag doggies, and the kitty boy with his birthday piñata on his head. Skippy John Jones, everyone cried. Hola, muchachitas, he said in a muy soft voice. Mama Junebug Jones lifted up Skippy John and covered his head with furry purry kisses. What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs? She scolded. That night, when he was supposed to be going to sleep, Skippy John began to bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones with a mind of my own, and I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that. Say good night, Skippy John Jones, called his mama. Buenas noches, mis amigos, said Skippy John Jones. The end. I hope you enjoyed my story time. Join me next time for one of my favorite stories.